Very explosive player, hard working.
Everyone looked up to him.
He's a huge talent, he's a monster.
Number 6, Harrison Kenny. Number 7, Aaron Wainwright.
First sporting recollection as a child would be playing mini football in Risca, Risca Leisure Centre. I used to go on a Saturday morning, I think, and just play, like, I don't know what it was, but it's football. So I got a chance to have a trial for the academy. I think it was, I was in end of under 9, start of under 10s, and I didn't get in the first time. And then I had another trial a couple of months later, and I got in then. When I didn't get offered a contract at Cardiff, I was like 16, and I was actually really disappointed I didn't get offered anything. We had to sit down, and they said, like, we're not going to offer you anything, so you're going to have to, like, look elsewhere. And, like, it was almost like shock, I guess, because you've been playing football, like, I'd been playing like 7-8 years, and then they're telling you, oh, like, the club you've been at for so long, I'm not going to offer you, like, to stay on. Kind of, like, gutting in a sense. So I didn't know whether to, like, cry or, like, just, like, I was quite sad, so I just walked off. So, like, I've always, like, wanted to win. Like, I haven't ever liked to lose, and, like, football sort of gives you a competitive edge. My friends from school, Dan Rees, Miles Harding, Jacob Proctor, Lewis David, just like a couple of names, who were, like, down playing youth rugby at Whiteheads, asked me to go down and train. So I went down one of the evenings, met the coaches, Geezer and Ty, who gave me a nice warm welcome and said just train and then play on Saturdays.
So this is Whiteheads RFC. Really enjoyed coming down and playing, and then going back into the clubhouse on a Saturday and just chilling out with my mates. Had a lot of good games down here, home and away.
Well, yes, I do remember Aaron, actually. I remember the first training session he ever turned up, and obviously he came here because he was in school with his mates, and all his schoolmates were down here playing.
I asked him to come down. I knew he'd sort of finished with Cardiff football, so I thought he got the physique or whatever to come down and have a game for us, and paid dividends. He
seemed to take it like duck the water from the very first game he played.
I like thinking back to, like, my first game. I was really nervous coming on, actually, because first rugby game with all your mates, people watching on the sidelines, and, like, luckily I went on and scored. Things like that you look back on and think how much of a big impact they have, like, throughout your career.
My fellow coach Geezer nicknamed him the Smash. And every time he picked the ball and run, he would smash through at least 3 or 4 people before he was tackled. So to us, probably, Aaron the Smash. Everyone looked up to him, and the way he was playing, the boys wanted to win for him.
I started playing sevens for the school in the first year of sixth form. Coach was really nice. To start off with, we had Justin Thomas, who was, like, the head of PE, and he was, like, the main rugby coach there. And then in the second year, Gwesson Price-Jones took over as a development officer for the rugby, and then I started playing back row then.
Hi mate, how are you?
Long time.
Been a while, you alright mate?
What's happening?
Yeah, good mate,
What's
good.
things?
Yeah, good, thanks. His work ethic was massive, obviously coming from a football academy background, work ethic's driven into you at that age, as if you're not working hard, you're not going to achieve anything within professional football.
Yeah, my first recollection of Aaron was in year 7. I remember coming in first week of September. Straight away he made an impression that he was one of the fittest boys in year 7, and he showed a great attitude. So we said, oh, come along and have a game of rugby, see if you enjoy it. And he started to play with the seniors, and he really enjoyed it. And I think straight away you could see that he had the potential to become a top-class rugby player. We were saying in Wales, you're either a rock or a sponge, and a rock is somebody who doesn't take on that advice and thinks they know better. And Aaron was definitely one of those type of players who were a sponge and would soak up all the advice we were giving him, and he took that on board really quickly. I think his mental attitude towards training and learning and improving as a player is probably one of the best I've ever seen in the school. And I think that's why he's made so much progress.
Transitioning from academy to seniors has been quite hard at times because I'm, like, fairly new to rugby, but, like, a lot of
The boys up there are really welcoming, and when I first went up, they helped me find my feet in a sense. And my first involvement, I had to run back and get the ball from a kick. And that was my first touch of a ball in a pro game, so I was really nervous. But the coaches and friends and family just saying, just do what you normally do and play how you normally play, and you should be fine. And then when I went on, I picked the ball up, and as soon as I had my first carry, I was fine then. I just really enjoyed it. When Bernard first came in, everyone really bought into his philosophy and what he was trying to set out to do. And hopefully next season will be better with the things that he's put in place. But I've really enjoyed working with him so far this season. I think that we are going in the right direction as a region.
Aaron definitely deserved his contract, and we hope it's the first of many contracts with Dragons. If you picked a surprise player of the tournament across the whole, he would be one of the names everyone talks about. So it's been a big first season for him, and we believe there's more potential left to try and tap into and try and explore there. If you look at the Welsh squad during the Six Nations in terms of the back row, incredibly competitive. If Aaron keeps developing the way he is, he certainly could be. He certainly has the physical attributes to be an international player.
I think the Welsh management will have a look at him at some stage. It's just when and an opportunity. With rugby, a lot of the time it's timing, and it's about taking that opportunity, which he has done for the Dragons, and hopefully he will get that opportunity for Wales.
Obviously, he's been playing extremely well for the Dragons. You wouldn't be involved in almost every single match day squad there's been this season if you weren't highly thought of, especially being 19, 20 years old, by the regional managers. The head coach, Bernard Jackman, obviously has a lot of faith in him, otherwise he wouldn't be putting him in that position. I think he's got a very good chance of having a cap. Got to say, I was slightly disappointed he wasn't named in the Six Nations squad. There's no reason why you couldn't go a bit further in Wales. There's the Lions tours coming up in the next 3 years. That might be a little bit too soon, but after that, I don't see why, in the progression he's made in 3 years since he really started playing rugby, why that someone of his calibre, intellect and also work ethic, couldn't possibly reach the echelons of going on a Lions tour to South Africa, Australia, and possibly New Zealand in another 11 years' time.
I want to try and stay here as long as possible, especially with Bernard coming in. I think next year and the seasons after are going to be positive for the region, and then hopefully, as I said, push on and try and aim for Wales caps and see if I can achieve that. Yeah.